Hi, it's me. I'm here again talking about something in a format that I do not like talking about things in, and it's like a rant format. But this is one of those things where I don't want to make a video about this. That's an edited and put together video because it's not worth the time in my opinion. And I also have a lot of other videos that I'm working on right now, and I just don't have the time to do anything else other than that. But I did want to say something because I think it's a perspective on this specific topic that not many people are talking about, so I want to henceforth talk about it that way. So here we are. Twitter is a weird place. I just talked about Twitter in my last rant video about the whole thing where the Cash App scam was happening. However, this time it's about CallMeCarson. And as many of you know, I've made a multitude of Lunch Club videos on this channel, and I continue to plan on making more. And I plan on continuing to make more, both of those. And there's been a controversy over the whole community based off of Cooper being essentially caught saying the N-word multiple times. And yeah, the debate here is Carson is upset because people in the community think he should be saying something about it. But the people in the community are upset because they think he should be saying something about it. And Carson recently went on a stream and said, hey, I'm not in control of these people, essentially. Also, they're kind of just looking for a downfall of the group. And I gotta be honest with you, I have not seen a viewpoint where both sides are taken into consideration. So as someone who is a mediator in all sides of my life, I'm going to try, because I think I understand both sides of the situation, and I can also relate to specific points that both have. First, let's talk about the stan side, or just the fan side, because I know they generally don't like to be called stans. I get it. I do. In his stream, Carson keeps saying something along the lines of, you do not have to support these people. You don't have to support me. And that's a completely understandable viewpoint, but the issue is, throughout the whole stream, Carson says, hey, I'm not racist. And it's very clear that I'm not racist. And that's a totally fine viewpoint to have, but I think it's a little bit dumb, and I think it's a little bit naive. And the reason why is because I feel like this whole thing could have been solved if in that stream he said, specifically, I do not condone the actions that Cooper did and the words he said by saying the N-word. I think it is literally that simple. And I'm not saying he needs to call him out in a public forum. I'm just saying, hey, it's become such a big issue that he addressed it, but he didn't really address it, did he? He addressed it in the way he wanted to. And sometimes when you are that big on a platform, you have to kind of adhere to what the platform is begging you to do, especially in the circumstances we're in right now. I'm not saying that's right in any time whatsoever, but if the circumstances weren't where we are right now, I feel like there would not be as big of a backlash over this as there currently is. However, let's look at the other side of this. There are people out there tweeting about the fact that they are having panic attacks over Carson not taking accountability and standing up for his friends. Or, standing up to the things that his friends said. Again, he responds by saying, if you're having a panic attack over something that minuscule and something that is based on comedy, you should not be a part of my audience. And to a certain extent, I agree with that, but I'm going to rework it a little differently. If you have invested so much of your time, your persona, your mindset into someone on YouTube, that's not good for you. That is not a good look at all whatsoever. That's unhealthy, and you should not. If a creator doing something so much as essentially up until the Twitch stream where he addressed it, staying silent on something, you need to like scale it back completely, because the thing that people fail to remember or realize is people on the internet are just normal people. They're just like you and me. Just like you and me. That is it. And I know in the past, we have all made mistakes that we are not happy about. Now, some of us have made bigger mistakes than others. And I, again, saying the N-word in any circumstance on site. But it's also not his responsibility. He's right about the point that it's not his responsibility to monitor what his friends say or to put them on blast on stream. But I don't think that the community is actually asking for that. I don't even think they're asking for an apology from him. They probably are now, but I don't think they were. I think it was just an issue of, hey, this is something that happened in my life, that happened in my life with my friend, and I'm not for what happened. It just seemed like he was kind of skirting around the subject a lot, and he kind of repeated a decent amount of the things that he was saying, and it's just kind of a difficult thing to observe, because I completely understand that there's a certain point, especially with the whole stan culture conversation that he had about the fan fiction, the water bottle and stuff like that. It's hard to maintain like a calm presence when it's been when stuff like this has been hammered in your head over and over and over again. Now, do I think Carson is a racist because of the people who he hangs out with? Not necessarily. I don't really think so. But again, to the point, you can't just say I'm not racist and then everything is okay. Because he doesn't even say anything against Cooper. He just brings it up, essentially. And I don't know how we, as a community, that can't concern some people. Now, I'm not saying it should be on the level of like, oh my gosh, I'm having a panic attack. Not saying that panic attacks aren't things that happen in people's lives every day. I've had a panic attack before. I've had panic attacks before. I have social anxiety disorder, so if I'm in like a big crowd or something along those lines and they start getting overwhelming for me, I will more than likely have a panic attack. However, you should not be having a panic attack about a creator not doing something. And then, again, a lot of the points are, hey, Carson is a model, and he has to be a model person for everyone else out there. And I think the difference is, I would say he should be, but I don't think it's a have-to situation, because a model citizen can mean so many different things to so many different people that it is impossible to be objective about it. So what a model citizen is to me very well may not be what a model citizen is to you. Bringing up something. Let's say Carson went outside without a mask on, right? Unless I don't, but hypothetically, let me say I'm someone who is totally against wearing masks. To me, would he be acting like a model citizen? Yes. To you, would he be acting like a model citizen? No. So I think it's hard to request someone. I think when you're saying something along those lines, you're essentially saying, adhere to everything that I believe in. Adhere to my goals. You're trying to shape this creator or this celebrity or person or whoever into something you want them to be. And it's always the case. That's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen, because we all have different personalities. We all have different personas. We all think different things. So ultimately, I guess, do I think that Carson should go out and say, hey, I do not agree with what Cooper did by saying the N-word instead of throwing like a blanket statement over it? Yes. Do I think that people are significantly overreacting to what's happening, or a decent amount of people are? Yes. Do I think that this is so stupid? Yes. And then really quick, final point I forgot to say. Not everything has to be done on the internet. Has it gotten to a point where I think it's so big that he should address the statements that Cooper made in public? Yes. But does it need to be generally happening on the internet? No. I understand. I am someone who constantly calls people out when they're doing like even remotely racist bullshit. Even if they're my best friends. Because they need to know that it's not okay, and they need to be educated on the fact of how to interact and what things you should say and what's the difference between like dark comedy and just being offensive. Because there is a very, very, very fine line. But I'm not going to do that in public. I'm going to do it in private so I can have a more personal conversation with them. If it's something that like riles up a big thing, would I possibly address it in public in like a one sentence thing? Absolutely. But the meat of that conversation is going to happen in private. I don't know. I think it's all a little bit too ridiculous for me, but I just wanted to give my opinion because I don't think people have this type of viewpoint on it. They're either Carson is racist or Stans are ridiculous human beings. But that's like the nature of the world. The people on either side, on either extreme, are going to get the most airtime out of everything. And the other side is going to attack the people who have that extreme of an opinion because it does look a little bit ridiculous compared to the more rational, logical, thought-out statements. So yeah, in my opinion, both sides are in the right and both sides are in the wrong. If that's the opinion you wanted to hear from me, whether that it is or not, I'm sorry. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I hope that I cleared myself in a way that solidly, firmly puts my standpoint out there. This is all one take. I promise the next video is going to be a very long video and an actually pretty decently edited video. So thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow or soon. It's not doing daily uploads anymore, so soon. Goodbye.